GTR owner getting fired. Second one on the page, 1 year ago today. Some interesting things to talk about. As you kind of can figure from the title of the video, I no longer have a full-time job. I technically just got fired from my job. My boss had to let me go. So we're gonna get into that, starting with what in the world Yeah guys, so January 29th, 2019, I got fired from my full-time job and started doing YouTube as my full-time career 1 whole year ago. Well guys, a lot has changed in the last 1 year of my life, from an apartment to a house, from 1 car, the GTR, to 2 cars, the GTR alongside the Supra. Of course the R6 isn't going anywhere, but it's crazy to think a year ago today, I went to work like just a normal day, and at the end of the day, right at 6 o'clock, my boss pulls me into the office real quick, and within 2 sentences said, I gotta let you go. So kind of crazy. It's not that I didn't see it coming, as we'll talk about more in this video, but that's just nuts. Like, it's been a whole year doing YouTube full time. This honestly has been the coolest year ever, the hardest year of my life ever, so it's been crazy. But we're gonna first get into kind of what it was like in the beginning, what it's like running your own business, jumping into that, and then kind of what I've taken away from all of this. So then to start off with just a real quick backstory, I worked at a car dealership for 3 years. I graduated college December of 2015. Within a few months, landed my job. Basically worked my way from the photographer all the way up to I was the person buying all of our inventory, pricing everything, valuing all of our trade-ins, valuing every car we bought at auction. I was really the man behind the scenes doing the turnaround time, keeping every car in budget as far as repairs, and then making sure we could sell it for a good profit. I didn't deal with the sales and finance side of things. I was the person responsible for the actual car itself. So I did enjoy my job. It was a lot of fun. I did a lot of cool things. So I really know the market of cars. I'm really good at kind of knowing exactly how to buy a car and what things are really worth. So that's kind of what I did for my job. So when it basically first happened, when I first got fired, I was planning to actually quit my job a few months later. Now the Supra wasn't out yet, and I knew that I wanted to buy the Supra, so my goal was to keep milking YouTube alongside having a full-time job, because I was making the same amount of money on both of them. So I wanted to milk that until the Supra got here. That way I had even more money to buy this car super easy. So that was kind of my goal. However, all of 2018 then, that's when my job went downhill, because honestly, because I was making the same amount of money on YouTube, it was really hard for me to stay motivated at the job, and my job performance went down a little bit, my motivation just went down. All I cared about, all I thought about was YouTube, my own business. Now with that, I've kept a good relationship with the car dealership I worked at. They helped sell my brother's Audi R8, and I filmed quite a few videos with them, so it's definitely good to not burn bridges if you do leave a job or get fired or whatever, especially if you are venturing into your own business. So then, when I actually got fired, I basically had 2 choices. I have a college degree, 3 years experience as a marketing manager, and that's really good to have on your resume. That's 2 good things to get me to the next good job. So I could have done that, could have gotten another normal job, which in my opinion is taking the easy way out, because that's normal. It's normal. Leave one job, basically, you go to the next job. I could have got another job probably within a few weeks. That wouldn't have been the hardest thing to do. But what I had to kind of wrestle with was, I knew I was making the same amount of money doing my own business at the time, and that was a side hobby. I did YouTube on weekends and after work. That was basically when I had time to do YouTube. So for me, I never really wanted to have a normal job. Even as a little kid, I can remember telling myself I wanted to do my own thing from the get-go. So I made the decision to actually do YouTube full-time, jump right into it. I was planning to do that anyway, but this was kind of a kick in the butt to actually do it. So that's what I did. It was weird getting used to, like, from going from school to college to then a full-time job. You're very used to a schedule, a fixed schedule that someone else pretty much lays out for you. So it's very easy to get comfortable kind of with life and how it's rolling, knowing someone's giving you a schedule and you just gotta follow along. So the first few months I was so lost. Like, I don't think it translated much onto the YouTube videos I was making, because I was still just doing the same videos that I was doing. But when I wasn't filming or editing my normal life, I was kind of having some trouble finding out what to do, because no one's telling me what to do. I have no schedule. It's completely whatever I wanted to do. But of course, I slowly started figuring things out, getting my own schedule down, writing out videos I wanted to do. And now that I actually had the time to really focus on my videos, I didn't have to save it all till the end of the day or the weekends. I could actually have my weekends to hang out with my friends and family and actually have that social life. And once I got that schedule in place, I started realizing I was more busy than ever. That's the craziest thing, going from full-time job with YouTube on the side to then doing YouTube as a full-time job. Mike and I, especially doing this together, YouTube was taking up all of our time because we were so busy with even more projects that we never had time to do before. So it was definitely a lot to get used to. A year later now, I'm very used to this is my life and I know what to do now. I'm very structured and disciplined with my schedule, so I don't find it at this point hard to deal with my own schedule. I like it. I do love the freedom. I love if it's a random day and I don't want to do anything, I can do nothing if I want to. With that said, that's like once a month I'll actually do that. Other than that, since I love filming stuff, I love making YouTube videos, I always want to try something cool to film, figure out what's next. And even if I'm not filming or editing, I'm still doing back-end work on the side, like designing shirts and stuff. We've had a lot more merchandise go live this year because I've had time to do it. I've had time to sit there and design stuff, spending 5 hours on the computer coming up with something. So it's been really cool to have the time to do all that. And with all that, it's been the coolest thing ever because I literally started doing YouTube videos technically when I was like 5 or 6 years old. We have home videos on the VHS recorder player, tape player, whatever it's called, from back in the day, of Mike and I filming videos of us skateboarding in the driveway, just having fun doing silly things, even filming our RC cars and our Power Wheels as little kids. And then when I was 16, I started actually making a few YouTube videos. And that's 10 years ago at this point. I made a few on my Scion TC, and those got a few views, and that's kind of where the ball started rolling. And then throughout high school and college, and then the 3 years after college is when we started turning it into an actual business. So it's been a crazy road. It's taken obviously some time to get to the point where this is mine and my brother's full-time job. And 1 year later, I am happy to report we're running strong, things are going well. We really appreciate all of your guys' support. It's been a heck of a year, a heck of so many crazy adventures, from getting to drive insane cars that I never thought I'd be able to drive, from adding the Supra to the garage, which was a dream car of mine from the 90s. So it's definitely been a pretty epic road. So with all that said, the biggest thing I think I have learned from this whole ordeal of going to school, going to college, having a full-time job, to then losing a lot. I lost half my income a year ago today, and completely investing my time and my passion into my business, doubled it back to normal to where I could actually buy the Supra, which that's why that car it means a lot to me, and that thing has a special place in my heart. But probably the biggest thing I've learned in the last year is the fact that if you're not happy with what you're doing, that's not a good thing. You really got to go for what you're passionate about. And for me, I'm not the type of person to do well at anything that I don't love doing. And even alongside YouTube, we don't do this as our only job. We work with a few other companies doing their marketing, which has been awesome. YouTube has been able to help to where Mike and I can branch out and actually bring what we've done on YouTube to other companies. And the craziest thing is, literally the month I got fired, one of my friends who owns a company had called me, and they had a need for someone to do their marketing. Perfect time. And Mike and I were both moving to this area, and there's been times where it's been 9 o'clock at night. We've already done a project for another company and they wanted a few more things, and we'll work till midnight to get those done. It's not because we only want to do it to make some money on it. We do it because we love doing it. We literally enjoy it, and to turn that into a business is like unbelievable to think about. It's pretty crazy. So then to go back on, if you're not doing what you love, I always see the posts on Facebook from people, Mondays, they post how they hate Mondays, they hate the whole week, and they post on Friday saying it's the best day ever. That to me is not the best way to live life. I feel like that would just suck, going into your job hating it. My first 2 years at my job, I loved it. It was so much fun. I was going from working at Harris Teeter, which is a grocery store. I worked there all through college, worked my way through school at that job, which was very awesome. But then going into a job with cars, at car dealerships, I got to drive some Ferraris all the time. We had a GTR. Crazy enough, on Facebook yesterday, it popped up 3 years ago today is when I drove a GTR for the first time. And then a year later, I bought mine, which is pretty epic. But I really enjoyed my job the first 2 years, but then once YouTube started taking off, which happened to be the year I bought the GTR, I started not liking my job at all. I had no motivation really, because I knew I could make more money doing something I truly loved. I was my own boss, didn't have to deal with anybody telling me what to do, and that just kind of stuck in my head, telling me that I need to go do something that I love. So with whatever job you guys have, seriously, if you don't love it, if you want to do something else, take that leap. It's scary. YouTube is unstable, running your own thing is unstable. It was scary, but after hours and hours of literally 6 months straight of us busting our butts every single day of the week, till midnight every night, got us back to normal, to where we could kind of relax a little bit and enjoy it. But it took a lot of hard work. but it's so worth it. Whatever it is that you really want, whatever type of job you want, you just really got to take that leap for it, and it'll completely pay off. So then moving on to the next topic is the fact that your life should not be determined by what other people want you to do. That's the biggest thing a lot of people, I think, need to realize. And even with us doing YouTube, we make videos and we say that, hey, this is my full-time job, I love what I do. We'll get comments of people literally telling us, oh, you think just because you're doing that, your job is better than mine. Not at all. I don't care what anybody does. I don't care what you want to do. If you love it, do it. Like looking at some of my close friends, one of my friends is in nursing school right now. She graduates at the end of the year. She's gonna go into pediatrics, working with kids all the time, but she loves it. That's her passion, so she's going for it, which is awesome. One of my other good friends is gonna be a pilot soon. He is flying. I think right now he's actually doing a flight right now, but he is gonna be a commercial pilot. I think he graduates in like 6 months, so he's gonna be doing that. Another one of my good friends is getting his master's in architecture. I don't know anything about drawing and designing stuff. I can do a few logos and that's about it, but he's gonna be designing and building buildings, which is amazing. Another one of my friends is working with law enforcement. He's gonna be in the FBI probably within 2 or 3 years. So the reason why I bring up my friend stories like that is because those are the closest friends of mine, and we're all doing something completely different, which is amazing. We're all going after something we are truly passionate about and something we really enjoy and something we want to spend our time doing. And I think if you let other people's opinions of what your life should be affect what you actually do, I don't think that's right at all, because your life is however you want it to be, and you can't let other people's opinions of what your life should be affect you because they're not your life. Like me, I want to spend my money on expensive cars. I like having cool cars. I choose to spend my money on them, and I'll make videos showing how I was able to buy them. If you're not into cars and you don't want expensive cars, don't buy these. You would literally regret that, and it'd be a stupid decision. So when other people look down on the decisions that you might make because they're the ones that you want to make, don't let that affect you. Like people tell me that I'm wasting my money buying these cars. That's not true at all, because you only have a certain amount of time on earth anyway, and these are fun and I like them and they make me smile. So with that, in your own job, just go after the job you really want, because if you're not spending your time at a job that you like to do, you're just kind of going through the motions, living life, and it's not really gonna be that fun. You're gonna spend a lot of your time at work or at some sort of job, so you really gotta go after something you're passionate about and something you really wanna do. And you just can't let other people's opinions affect that. There's some of my friends who never went to college but did trade jobs that they love doing, making more money than me in all honesty, and they just love what they do. So don't let other people's opinions of how you wanna live your life affect the decisions you actually make just because they're not you. So that's definitely something I've learned over this, is do what you want. Of course, don't infringe on other people's rights to, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and all that kind of stuff. Be ethical and responsible in the world, but go after what you truly love. So that's kind of it. 1 year doing YouTube full time. I got fired a year ago today. My only real job out of college, I got fired. But it is what it is, that is life sometimes. But honestly, it's the best thing that's happened to me in quite some time, because it was that push. I don't know if I needed it at the time. I wouldn't have mind waited to milk a little bit more of having 2 incomes, but it was that push to really make me say, I'm either doing this full time, doing my passion, going after something I love, or being normal, going the safe route, getting a normal job and just doing that and keeping YouTube as a side business. So it's been scary, it's been hard. I was paycheck to paycheck for 3 or 4 months, which was pretty scary in all honesty, especially having a very large obligation, which is the GTR's payment. So that was pretty scary. But taking my mindset off the money and just truly going after filming the things I loved literally paid off. And doing that, the next 3 months, we built it so much higher. We built the channel a lot, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And it's been a crazy amount of work, but I would not trade that to go back to a normal job. I definitely prefer working for myself. And just like I was saying earlier, if you're not into working for yourself and you'd rather have a normal structured job, do that. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that running your own business is the best way to go, or is it for everybody, because it's not. Everybody, like I said, is different. There's different things that work for different people. For me, as a little kid, I always wanted to do something different. I never wanted to have someone tell me what to do, because I honestly hate having a boss. So for me, this kind of was always in the cards for me, just because I was always looking for ways to do things on my own. And it's awesome that YouTube has provided me with a cool platform to do that, as well as branch out and become my own marketing company, which is pretty awesome. So it's been one heck of a year. I cannot thank you guys for your support. Literally, we get so many positive comments. I would say like 98% of the comments we get on all of our videos are positivity, which is amazing. There are a lot of trolls and haters out there, of course, which I don't even pay attention to because it's not important. But I love seeing the positivity. When I made the video a year ago, I quit, I think it got like 1,100 comments and like I don't know, it's like 98% thumbs up. And so many really good positive comments, which I really appreciate. So today's video, hopefully the same thing. We are giving away a free GoPro, so your comment will actually enter you into it. So let's see some more positivity. But I think that is about gonna wrap up today's video. Wow, a year ago today, getting fired. That's pretty crazy. Now, in a house with my brother, you know, we're working on this full time together, which is pretty awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I think that's everything I had to say in today's video. So I think that'll all wrap it up. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.